Calling about you?
Not calling about me. Open your ears, let him out.
Hey, listen.
I gotta listen to you, man. Go on.
So I tased him right in the back.
You got the handcuffs too tight.
Who cares? Get in the car. I'll shoot your dog.
Welcome back to the LackLuster channel. In April of 2018, Chattanooga police officer Cody Thomas responded to a 911 call concerning a man named Polo threatening people with a firearm, described as wearing green and black. But upon arrival, Officer Thomas saw Mr. Nate Carter checking his mail, dressed in purple and black, and approached him.
Polo. Now, what's your name? What's going on?
I don't know. They called you. I ain't called you. I'm calling.
Who are we calling about?
Calling about me, buddy.
Calling about you?
Not calling about me. Open your ears, let him out.
Hey, how about you watch your mouth for your ass gets on the back of my car?
Already, it's clear that Officer Thomas is unfit for the job. The 911 caller is now behind him, several doors down, but Officer Thomas remains focused on Nate, even after both parties tell the officer that Nate is not the suspect. Officer Thomas is now the only party on scene to have used profanities, ironically, while telling Nate to watch his mouth.
Hey, how about you watch your mouth for your ass gets on the back of my car?
Now you can put me in the car, but I'm in front of my house about private property not bothering you. You go here talking about who am I, Polo, and I told you no.
Hey, listen.
I gotta listen to you, man. Go on.
No, get your ass over here. You're now part of this. Come here. Come here right now. Come here.
You can't look for what?
The United States Postal Service visits almost 165 million locations across the United States every day but Sundays, Christmas, and Thanksgiving. This means that the USPS stops over 50 billion times per year. However, since its creation in 1775, there are no documented incidents of postal workers intentionally killing dogs on their route. However, on the opposite end of the spectrum, the DOJ estimates that police officers kill as many as 10,000 dogs each year. And now, to fill those stats, Officer Thomas continues to escalate the situation by threatening to shoot Nate's dog.
I'll shoot your dog.
Shoot my dog, boy. You can't come in my yard.
Get over here now.
No, get out my yard.
Get over here right now. Taser deployed. Start me at 20. Hey, show me your hands. Clear the air. Start me some cars. Go back in the house.
As backup arrives, Nate exits his home.
Get your ass out here. Show me your hands. Get your ass out here. Show me your hands. Get your ass out here now. Get your ass over here now, or I'm gonna shoot your dog. Get your ass over here now. Put your ass up. Put your ass up. Get your ass over here now. Get over here now. Me with your ass up. Suspect just went back in the house. Hold on, I'm moving my car in front of the house.
With Nate's home surrounded, he surrenders, assuming that the presence of the other officers would keep his assailant from further attacking him.
Hey! We're still working on getting him outside. He went back in. Hey, sweetie, come here. Come here. It's okay. Y'all come here. Hey, y'all come here. Everything's okay. You right there. Hey, you come over there. You go over there. Come here. Come here now. Come here now. Get away from the dog.
Without warning or lawful reason to do so, Officer Thomas brings Nate to the ground, and despite complying, 2 other officers drive their knees into his legs and neck. Officer Thomas then forced his thumb into the neck at Nate's carotid artery while grinding his face into the cement, and instead of ending the abuse, other officers applied handcuffs as tight as they possibly could, while Nate's children watched in horror. Officer Thomas would further show his lack of humanity as Nate pleaded with the other officers to loosen the cuffs.
That handcuffs too tight.
Who cares? Get in the car.
Man, for real.
I've alleged before that many officers fantasize about what it would be like to tase or even shoot someone just to know what it feels like, causing some to use excessive force in situations like this. It would be impossible to know if that's how Officer Thomas felt prior to this incident, but his following celebration certainly lends credence to the theory.
Oh, I popped my cherry. Taser.
Nearly 10 minutes after his arrival, Officer Thomas finally meets with the 911 caller and attempts to have the man affirm that he attacked the right suspect.
Is this about him, correct?
No. It was another guy, but he ran through. He had the Glock. He was standing by that telephone pole, and he was talking about shooting up. Me and her was in there playing cards, and he was talking about, he was talking about shooting up in her.
Because when I walked up, you said, yes, that's him.
No, I said no.
Yes, you did, because I walked up and I said, who you hear about? And you said, yeah, that's why I'm here. And so when I started confronting him about going in the house, that's when all this erupted. I asked you, I said,
I misunderstood what you said.
because when I walked up here, I said, is this him? He was like, no, you're talking about open your ears, blah, blah, blah. And I said, is this why I'm here? And you said, yes, that's why you're here.
Yeah, because when you started going toward him to the steps, I was hollering, that's not him.
Later, to justify his unlawful actions, Officer Thomas authored a false report, claiming that on scene, the 911 caller identified Nate as the suspect.
Started going toward him to the steps, I was hollering, that's not him.
The report would also leave out the fact that Nate was wearing purple, though the description was for someone wearing green and black. He would also embellish the events to his supervisor.
So what else needs to be done now besides just the initial report and take him to Erlanger?
Yeah, you gotta take him to Erlanger. Once he gets cleared there, then he's clear to go to jail. And then you just gotta do the use of force for the taser and the takedown.
Because I pulled up here and he was standing out in the middle of the road, and I was like, well, I'm guessing this guy could be it.
What was I didn't even hear what the initial call was.
Somebody said they had a gun, they were threatening to shoot this guy. And so when I pulled up, he walked out of the house, and this guy was telling me to, like, I said, hey, are you Polo? And he was like, I don't know what you're talking about, leave me alone. Like, he's calling you, shoot. He's like going like this, like, shoot. And I was like, well, I'm trying to figure out why I'm here. And he's like, he called you, not me. Now go deal with him. And I was like, I said something to him. I asked him, like, what is your name? He made some comment. I said, what? And he said, how about you open up your ears and shut your mouth? And I was like, how about, I said, excuse me. And then so I asked him for his ID, and he was like, man, what you talking about, leave me alone? Well, in my mind, that's the guy who has the gun. And he had his body turned like this the whole time, but wouldn't move at all. He wouldn't move. And I was like, I said something to him. I said, how would you come over here to give me your ID? And he's like, no, I'm going back in my mouth, or going back in my house. And I said, come here right now. And he said, for what? I said, give me your ID. I said, I'm trying to figure out what's going on. But the whole time he's going like this, and then he kind of stepped towards me and started walking back in the house. So I'm thinking he's going to go do something with the gun. So I tased him right in the back. And then that's when he rode it for a solid 3 seconds, and then tripped up the stairs. And that's when he slammed the door, and that's when the barbs, I guess the second barb came out, but one stuck in him. And then he came back in the house, and so I pulled my car to where I can get behind it, so I didn't know if he was gonna come back out and try to shoot. And then he came back out, but he was like still hiding behind the door. So I was like, he has a gun in his hand, and something bad's about to go down. That's when he kept going in and out, in and out. Y'all walked up, and his girls walked out.
Nate was charged with disorderly conduct and resisting arrest, but those charges were quickly dropped, and after an internal affairs investigation, Officer Thomas was suspended for a mere 2 weeks. No criminal charges were filed against him for the aggravated assault, battery, threats, or false arrest, but shortly after, Nate filed a lawsuit seeking $3 million. The parties settled for an unknown amount just 6 months after the filing, record time for a case like this. That same year, Officer Thomas was named in another unrelated lawsuit seeking $1.3 million, alleging the officer's involvement in a botched raid. That case was eventually dismissed, but the first incident on its own should have been enough to determine that Cody Thomas was unfit to serve. No other details have been made public, and it appears that he may still be employed with the department. Had you committed the same acts as Mr. Thomas, it's possible you would still be in jail. As always, let me know what you think in the comments down below. And if you liked this video, try one of my previous reports linked on screen.